Hello guys, welcome to our show. Today we discuss about winning SEO support, gaining buy-in, and I'm so excited to discuss this topic with Sara Taher. How are you?
Great. How are you? Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, it's a big pleasure. I remember our first episode. You're so kind to share these valuable insights. I love learning something new, and I see you're super active on LinkedIn to share tips, methods, stories. I love it. So valuable.
Thank you.
Sarah, before we start, just remind about yourself to new listeners who might not know you, but about your business experience, your priorities in SEO, and why you choose this direction, SEO.
Yep. So I've been doing SEO for 9 years. I've worked both agency side and client side. It's my passion, really. I like the full stack of it. I'm proficient on technical and content more than on backlinking side. And I just like it, And when you like something, you sort of give it your all.
Nice. Love it. Sarah, tell about SEO support. How to provide this SEO support to your customers? Because, I check out a few studies, and from my personal experience, companies have no time to implement even a small percent of recommendations, tips. We need to tell them, explain why it's important to find a way to transfer this data, because if you send them a list of errors they need to fix to write content, in most cases they can't, because of they have no time, resources. I don't know anything about that. And tell about your methods, how to help with SEO support your customers.
Okay, so first of all, when you send a recommendation, first of all, you need to know the capacity your client has, right? And take that into consideration when sending recommendations. You don't want to keep throwing stuff at their way and just call it a day. And then the second thing is, when you work on a deliverable, make sure you remove all the guesswork. Like, you want to send a technical user story to the developer, you want them to take it and not have to think about it again, try to understand it. It's very clear to them. They have all the information, all the steps. If there is if you want them to add a canonical tag, show them an example of the code. If you want them to do something, be very specific, show them what you exactly want them to do, and then and send it to them. This specifically was one of the things I got positive feedback on when I worked with developers. If your developers keep coming back to you to get clarifications, then you're not doing a good job. You should ideally get 99% of the questions or anything they need. They should get 99% of the information at least when you send them your first deliverable. If they keep coming back, then it's either you're not communicating correctly, or maybe you need to give them alternatives because, for example, their back end does not support the recommendations you want. Then this is where you need to find a workaround, right? So removing the guesswork, and then building good relations with people, and this takes time. I think patience is the best thing to have as an SEO. It's easy to get very discouraged, quickly discouraged, when you get a rejected, your recommendations rejected, or you get told that they're not a priority right now, or they get stored on the shelf, for when they have time. What you can do is just understand that you have not built the strong relations you need yet, and over time, if you build a good relationship, they will want to work with you. They will start looking at what you have to offer, right?
Yeah. Okay, can you tell about your methods, how to build a relationship with web developers? Because it's a big struggle. I often see it when they don't understand or they don't want. I don't know. I can't take their minds, but I usually explain it's important. Please fix critical errors, and let us know more about critical errors, because when I check out on Google Search Console, on PageSpeed Insights, Screaming Frog, Ahrefs, many other great tools, I see a huge list of errors. I don't know what to fix, what to do. So can you tell about priorities, what to take first, and how to explain to developers that please fix it or I will kick you?
I think developers are always busy, and then there will always be technical debt for them, right? So it might as well be SEO. Like, they're not gonna. It's never gonna be perfect anyways. So the way they think about it, okay, if I'm not gonna execute everything, then it's fine. I'm not gonna execute on SEO as well. So this is like the mindset some developers have, and the way you do this is, as I said, like you need to send really clear. When you send really good recommendations, really well written, they start to respect you. Like they feel that you put a lot of effort there. So that's one thing. Another thing is always communicate what you're working on and why. Like, so for example, I would, if I'm working on like a specific milestone, I would like make a meeting, invite stakeholders, and talk about what I'm doing and why am I doing this, right? Like take them through your thought process, because we tend like to make all those decisions and build a strategy and start bombarding everyone with like, do this, do this, do this. But if you involve them in your chain of thought in the background, it does help. When I worked in-house, we had a channel dedicated for SEO on Slack. So I would always post improvements, even small improvements, tests, stuff we're working on. And that started actually to get motivation, right? Because people wanted to be part of this or start to see the value you're bringing, right? So people respect when you show that you put effort in your work, and when you show that you are a subject matter expert. You need to have this confidence, even if you don't have it. Like you need to come into the meeting. And if you feel you're not confident, a work around this is not to talk unless you have something really valid. Like, don't talk because you feel you have to. Like, it's better not to talk and still look good, instead of like. So yeah, minimize what you say, because so when you say something, it comes. People are like start listening. Yeah, so these tactics and again, always connecting with developers, see what they're working on. In the past, I used to go attend meetings with if it obviously not all companies give you the same access, but if you can attend product team meetings, CMS stand-ups, you don't need to do this regularly, of course, because you're obviously you have your own stuff to work on, but to be part of these conversations and understand what people are working on. And so when you talk to them, you talk in terms of whatever projects they're working on and how this is relevant and so on. That's a good approach as well.
Nice. Yeah, love it. I think, yeah, it's important to be confident and persistent with that, because I often get reply, it's impossible, we can't do it in our CMS. Okay, I think it's possible, when you not like force, I mean like to tell them, find the way how to do it, then you'll get the bonus or something like this. Yeah, they usually can find the way. and Sara, yeah,
I want to add something to what you said, and sharing credit, right? When we talk about the results, we often forget the unsung heroes, the devs. They also did contribute to that. And there's also something, like I remember something from the past. So there was this incident where I was auditing a website. I was in-house. I was auditing a website, and I found that users' purchase information was public. So basically, if you book a flight, for example, Anatoly booked a flight, I can get, like, if someone searches for your name, they can get your flight, the times, where you're going, the hotel you're booked, who you're going with, your phone number. Can you imagine, like, the leak? It was really serious, right? So I was sitting like 2 meters away from the COO, right? I could have just walked around and showed him like this horrible crime, and take all the credit and look so cool. But I like, you need to have empathy for the developers. We all make mistakes. I talked to my manager, and then both of us talked to the developers, and then we worked together to solve it without making a without like you don't have to make people feel like stressed out, or like if they feel they can trust you, they will work as well with you. Like you came to them, you're not trying to win points with high upper management, or you're not trying to show off or anything. You have found something really serious that needs to be fixed. You obviously need to tell your manager, and then that's all, right? Like and you work with them on fixing it. And sometimes devs actually don't know how to fix it. Like they would literally come and say, okay, we don't know what to do. And then this is where you need to brainstorm with them. Like you need to show people that you are their partner. You're not just someone who's sitting on the other side. You are on their side, right?
Mm-hmm. Nice. You mentioned that you made an audit. I think you made a lot of audits. Can you tell your living tools how to make this audit, and tell about finding the balance between software or tools and manual job? What you can check out manually and what you can do by using software. And it's interesting. One more question about that. I found that some tools show the average data. For example, I check out a few tools, and they gave me recommendations that I need to write 2,000 words for each page that I have on my website. And it depends, it's like average data. Then I got the recommendation that I need to have titles are only between 50 and 60 characters. It's a big mistake if I have 45 characters. It's the average, it depends, So can you tell how to find the balance between manual job using tools and divide important information from obsolete?
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, the best audit starts with spending some time on the website. You need to, like, if you just plug your URL in Screaming Frog or whatever tool you're using, and you start, looking at the numbers and the data and what's happened, you don't get a clear understanding of the website. So the best thing is actually to start with just looking at the website, the URL structure, like, switch between pages here and there. Use the site operator. I start from there always. Start from Search Console coverage report, pages report now. Start from the basics and manually check things. Manually check if I turn off JavaScript, what's going to happen here? If I, for example, okay, are those links, for example, no followed for, or how are they implementing? Is the links on the bot, like, are they using buttons as links, or like, dig into the website manually and try to understand what's happening on the website, right? Tools are important. We cannot deny, because especially when you're dealing with like huge website, you won't be able to go through all the pages. And in theory, sometimes you don't need actually to go through all the pages. You just need to go through page templates, like the blog posts, product page, like, the templates. But so, and then from there, you can get an understanding of, in addition to, you have the business goals, what's more impactful than not. And from there, you can get an understanding of, okay, what is important? What is the most important things to get for this website to get fixed first, right? So, and once you decide on your list, I mean, like my audit, my checklist audit, it has like over 100 checkpoints. I know people divide this into, like, I've seen people up to 400 points. Like it depends on how you describe the audit item you're working on. I go through it. You have, and for each item, pass, fail, not applicable, or not audited. And then for each item, you have, you assign a t-shirt value for priority. Is it small, medium, large, right? And that makes it easy to communicate to other stakeholders. And from there, you can build your user stories and fit them into the sprints.
Mm-hmm. Nice, valuable. Sarah, let's talk about creating content. I think content is the most important, still the most important ranking factor. And if I have limited resources, I can create only content. I can forget about link building, many other things, because without content, nothing can help. So can you tell how to create content that people and search engines will love? Because, I see, especially today when we have AI, it's everywhere, and we have a lot of content created by AI, generic content, nothing special. Even Google changes the policy right now. That's okay to create content with AI, but if you create high quality content, so it's not like to use generic prompts. I don't know, like how to play a guitar. No, you can find the reply to this question on Google. Great articles about dogs. They usually take part of my podcast. And, yeah, can you tell or describe about how to create content for people and search engines? I mean, like to add these keywords or not? Because I found that some CEOs can tell, I don't care about keywords. I just create content great for search engines. Google can recognize this content. Others can tell, no, we need to use keywords. We have tools like Surfer SEO, Phrase, some others tools that can describe about that. So your methods, how to satisfy both search engines and human being.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to say something I always say is that if you want to increase the traffic to your website and you're looking for something other than updating and creating new content, then there's no other end. Like that's the bread and butter. That's the core thing we're gonna do. Like all other activities, the technical stuff are link building or whatever. All of these are to support the content you're creating. So that's the mindset to approach content, right? That's the core thing. That's the core activity. That's the biggest lever. That's the lever, right? And then when it comes to balancing between keywords and just writing useful content, I just want to say that if you actually write actual useful content, you can and not put keywords on your mind, you can actually rank, right? That can happen. And there are a lot of people and a lot of bloggers that started blogging without much knowledge of SEO, and they were ranking, right? But if you want to maximize your potential on search, right? If you want to leverage as much as you can value from search engines, then you need to consider keywords, right? I mean, anyone who has SEO clients that never did SEO before, and like they come to you, they have a website. Obviously, it's getting some traffic. It's not getting its maximum potential, right? So, you have two. Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they often take part on my podcast. Sometimes I need to take them. They stop barking.
Don't worry about it. Usually my kids are like in the background, but because they're in school now,
yeah, nice.
So you using keywords is making sure you're maximizing your potential in search, right? You're making the best use of your content, right? And then with all the changes happening in search, and I'm not done actually looking at it yet. I'm still looking into it, but we can see that personal experience is going to be a big factor, because I mean, if you think about it, that's a key differentiator between AI generated content and human written content, and then that's the only thing, or that's the main thing that can make your content unique, right? That's because it's you, and everyone is unique in their way, and their experiences and stories and their thoughts, right? So I'm pretty sure like experience and personal takes on things is gonna be like very important this year and moving forward. And a few months ago, Google already changed EAT to EEAT, adding the an experience to expertise. So this all show, because I mean, AI can imitate expertise, right? It can imitate, like you can create an AI expert on health, for example, or whatever, right? But personal experience is different. So yeah, I mean, that's and it's really hard to replicate, and that's the thing that's going to bring value. And the reason people are shifting or not shifting, the reason that TikTok is becoming, for example, very popular, even using it as a search engine, not just for like to scroll through the videos, is you want to see what other people have to say about something, right? Like just the other day, I bought a mint plant, and I wanted to know how to take care of it because I have murdered few plants in the past. So yeah, I'm a serial killer for plants, unfortunately. So so yeah, I Googled it, and then I was like, man, no, that's not what I like. I don't know. I wanted something fast and some real advice, not just something that's, I don't know, curated from somewhere else. So I jumped to TikTok and actually went through the videos there. And I actually got the advice, like, you find someone who got a small plant, like similar size as you did. And like they share, and especially like they sound like you, like they're like, this is the first time we ever, or the, like if they share an experience and you feel they're similar to you, and like you're where they started when they were taking care of their plants is where you are right now. This is where you feel like, you feel this connection, not this, this, right? So so yeah, personal experience is going to be big, and I think video content and short video content as well is going to be really big. And in a perfect world, I would recommend to everyone to embed short videos on their websites and create videos. I know not all clients and all businesses can afford that, but I mean, with the massive amount of AI tools coming into play, I think this is going to be easier and easier in the future, hopefully.
Yeah, I want to ask you more about AI content. I had the conversation with Jeff Coyle. He is co-founder of Market Use, recognizable AI tool. And he told me that in the future, we'll have three companies. The first company will develop AI. The second company will implement AI. And the third company will be obsolete, can leave the trade, And today, I think AI is not the future; it's present. I am
Yes.
using AI as a regular tool every single day. I love it, but I found when content creators overuse AI. For example, I cooperate with some great writers who can write for Forbes, Bloomberg, Investopedia. So they have experience, a lot of publications, huge traffic on these resources, SEO traffic. But all of them, without exception, use ChatGPT. They generate content. So we usually speak to them. We can't deny this tool exists. Yes, we can use this tool, but we need to use this tool smart. And I remember a great example from Elon Musk. Before he started to criticize ChatGPT and signed this letter, by the way, to procrastinate the process, then he changed his mind so fast and bought expensive equipment to Twitter to develop this technology. Now, yeah, interesting about that. But what I found on Elon Musk tweet when he shared the screenshot from ChatGPT, how he asked this prompt. That was not like how to play guitar. He asked hard question with a lot of details. And I spent a few times to read this question just to understand what Elon Musk want to get. And he got unique answer. So my main question is how to use AI or ChatGPT or any other tool smart that will help to create high quality content, not to create a new piece of content that exists in many other websites.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to highlight something I've got from an expert in the field recently, in AI field recently, and they said that as AI tools and LLMs and ChatGPT develop more and become better, we will need less prompt engineering, right? We will need less complicated prompts. It's not going to be as complicated. Like right now, it's not that complicated, but if you want something specific or maybe very advanced, maybe you need, like, it depends really on what you want, but it's going to be easier and easier. And you can think about this the same way search in Google was, like, you needed to search a few times to get what you want. Right now it's less and less and less because it understands better. So that's the direction we're heading towards. I think content creators should use AI, but we need to understand that right now it's a new thing. It's just like released last November, I think, or around that time. And people, when something new comes, people tend to abuse it in the beginning, right? Everyone overuse it, abuse it. And then what happens is that after a while, people start to see the negative impact of this, right? And Google also need to find a way to handle this, because there's a massive amount of content being pushed right now, right? So once people see the consequences of this, things start to balance a bit, right? And like a level of equilibrium, right? And we're not balanced yet. And this is like, in the past, even in SEO, everyone in the past, we used to think about SEO as manipulating Google. That was SEO, right? We're trying to trick the search engine to rank us. But after a while, this isn't working anymore. And people started to realize that we actually need to do actual work, right? So that's what's going to happen as well with all this AI content. Like right now, it's easy to fall into this because there isn't a clear consequence. What's going to happen? A lot of websites with AI content are ranking. What's going to happen? Once we see people, for example, move away from that, they don't want it anymore. Search engines maybe not giving you the value or the ranking you wanted, or once there's something that's going to happen that's going to balance this out, right? And yeah, I mean, the future, not the future, we are in AI, but the future is for those who master this. Because if you're a copywriter and you're just, I mean, today you can still hire copywriters on Upwork for all sort of prices, right? And if you're a copywriter and you're still offering, I don't know, $5 an article or stuff like that, very soon you will run out of work, because people are just gonna go and get AI tools to write for them. It's even cheaper. Like if your selling point is the price for content creation, specifically textual content right now, it's not gonna last for long, right? This is not your unique selling point is not gonna carry you very much longer.
Nice. Yeah, awesome. You mentioned about EEAT. Yeah, I asked Lily Ray, please film a video about EEAT for my course, and she replied to me, what is the length of this video? I told 15 minutes. And she replied to me, I don't know how to explain about EEAT for 15 minutes. Yeah, it's huge topic, but she wrote me a checklist of all parameters, plus 50 parameters, what you need to do with EEAT. But can you tell how to satisfy or measure this score? Because, for example, we have estimation for domain authority, page ranking, but we have no score for EEAT. And today it's important factor. I don't know, direct, indirect, it doesn't matter. I don't care. And I don't understand why people are asking it's direct or indirect, because, for example, if eating healthy food is indirect factor for building muscles, but many experts can tell that 50% of results depend on eating healthy food, not from spending time on gym and direct factor. So anyway, especially today when we have AI content, AI content can't satisfy the intent. Can you tell how to measure EEAT and your tips how to improve this score or get more trust, authority for Google and customers as well?
So the easiest way to look at this is that to understand that EE and A are actually all trying to get you to the T, trust. Like the main or the most important thing is trust, right? Is this website and this person and that content or the entire thing, right? Is this trustworthy or not, right? That's the question. That's what Google is trying to answer. And that's what the users are trying to answer as well, right? Like even, I mean, in social life, they say people would know if they can trust you or not in like, I don't know, 20 seconds or I don't remember the study, but like just by meeting you, unconsciously we look for things and your way that you greet and small things, and we start to say, okay, I can trust that person or not. And that's the same way people look at websites, right? And how important trust is really depends on how critical this website is, like, to your health, your money. So for example, if you're looking at a movie review website, you may not like be very picky, right? But or if you're looking for but if you're looking for some health advice, this is where okay, who's this, what's that website, like, you don't want a random person writing random stuff online. And Google doesn't want that either. So the whole thing is about trusting the website, trusting the author, trusting the organization behind all of this. So you need to, even if you've never read Google Quality Raters guidelines, you go to a website and just look at it. Like, that's what I do actually when I want to audit for EEAT first. Like, the first thing I do, I just look at the website and, okay, is this website trustworthy? Okay, would I put my money here? Why and why not, right? And that's where you need to start. Like their about page, for example. What does it say about them? Do they have even small things like links to socials? What are the socials look like? The expertise or of their authors, are these subject matter experts? Do they have established personal brand online? Or like you just need to look at the whole picture and say, okay, is this a website and content and author that I can trust or not? That sums it all, right? In a nutshell. And the level of how much you need to worry about this is directly proportional to how critical your industry is.
You remind me my son when he usually asks me to buy Nike, not new sneakers. Dad, I need Nike. I need this Nike. We have a lot of other great brands, Puma, Reebok. Now I need Nike. You don't understand. So yeah, because of this trust, because of authority. Sarah, I have the question about something that I often do. I made a lot of mistakes in my life. I keep doing them, but I can learn from them,
Yes.
because, it's interesting. I think everyone starts from best practices, generic strategies. Then when we fail, and in 1999, we fail because generic strategies don't work, we can adapt, learn, and find something that will work for us. Can you tell about common mistakes that webmasters still do today, and your tips how to find a much better way?
Common mistakes. I would say the things that developers complain to me about, like the things when I talk to developers, they would say, like, for example, being ambiguous. Like, I had a developer tell me one time that the previous SEO would come to them and would say something like, that's the recommendations. He would say, speed up the website. That's it. That's the recommendation. Like, really? That's why they hired you to come and tell me, like, okay, how? What do you want me to do? Which pages? When? What? Like, a lot of questions. Just speed up the website. So being ambiguous, being very generic, that's definitely a big mistake. Another thing is, and I did that in the past, actually, is you might have, if you're working on a small website, it's very tempting to not jot down your strategy and what you're working on specifically in a document, right? You know what you're doing in your mind, like, okay, this is an e-commerce website, a small e-commerce, so I'll start with the most important category pages, and I'm gonna build topic clusters around it, stuff like that, right? You have it in your mind, but you didn't write that down. And even if you chatted to the client about it, you need to have a strategy document, right? It doesn't have to be anything complicated. You just need to show them you have some level of a plan, right? You don't need to dig into a lot of, it doesn't have to be something so advanced or anything. It's just, you need to show there's some level of a plan. You definitely have a plan. It's just, you need to document it, right? It's not enough to just, what you're doing. And we trust what you're doing, but we need to see this on paper. So that's really important. And then I just want to say that mistakes, generally speaking, will keep getting repeated until you learn the lesson, and then you move on to different mistakes and then different mistakes. And it's always going to be there, right? So don't be like too hard on yourself or on others. Or what works for me is I'm too hard on myself, but not on others. I mean, it's good to try to hold yourself to higher standards than others, because not because you need to be more empathetic towards people. You don't know their story. They have a different journey, but then you need to push yourself to the max. And sometimes it's not that good to be hard on yourself. Sometimes it sucks, but a moderate amount of that is definitely helpful. So yeah, that I would definitely recommend a tiny bit.
Nice. Okay, got it. Sarah, I have a few questions left, and I wanna speak not about SEO. I wanna speak about you. I found that all experts have their strong sides, and most of speakers who speak on my podcast can beat me in one side, in some specific directions. For example, Ferry Kazoni can beat me in PR in one side. Olga Azar can beat me in technical optimization. Jeff Coyle can beat my ass, with advanced strategy. Lily Ray much better in EEAT. And I want to know the strong side of Sara Taher. What is your strong side, and how you can help your customers better than your competitors?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'll tell you what I do is, whenever I work on something, so technical content, backlinking is not my strongest, not my strongest skill, honestly. But technical or content, whenever I work on something, I try to make sure I understand it the most I can, right? And over time, this accumulates. So I wouldn't say I'm like the expert, the technical expert, or the content expert. I wouldn't say that, but I would say I know well enough to be able to handle most of the stuff that come my way. So obviously there's a lot, and there's tons of awesome SEOs out there, awesome people. I learn from them all the time. And every single person has their unique thing. I think the thing that I've heard a lot from my clients is the enthusiasm. like if I like something, I get really excited about it. So yeah, I would say knowing your stuff well enough to be able to address any situation. And part of this is actually knowing what to do if you don't. And then for me, just being enthusiastic about things.
Yeah, I think without passion, it's better not to do it. I remember when I found a great project and invested a lot of money, resources, hired a team of great experts to go ahead with this project. But I didn't have passion about that. I just chased money. I felt that I can earn a lot of money to use the strength. And after 3 years of investing, wasting a lot of time, I quit. I gave up with this project because I hated Monday. I love Friday. And I didn't feel good with this project. And it's more interesting that I didn't understand this business. It's not my even close to my skills. I just chase money, and that was a big mistake. And I completely agree. You need to be enthusiastic. You need to love, to enjoy the process. It's not like to be happy when you achieve something. No way. You need to be happy every single day when you do something, when you enjoy the process. So yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. And
the other day, following up on your question, the other day I was thinking, what's the difference between, I know we don't like to use the word expert. I know it's being abused right now, but just for the sake of the conversations, that if you want, what's the difference between being an expert in something and not being an expert in something, is just, funny enough, is just focusing on small things every day as they come through your way, and just trying to get as much depth on that small specific thing, right? And it can't, like if someone's starting today and wants to be like an SEO guru, or like wants to like really master the craft, they might feel like overwhelmed, all of these stuff coming out and all the documents and documentation and, you know, all the tips, and everyone is writing stuff, and they don't need to absorb all of this. They need to just see what comes their way and make sure that those small things, they master them, right?
Yeah. You know, people can call me an expert, but I can call myself a student, you know, because
Always.
you know, yeah, because when I speak with different experts, I understand that I need to learn, I need to go ahead, you know, to improve my skills, and I don't see the end. It's impossible to learn SEO. It's impossible, really, because but you can craft your skills in some specific direction, and my direction is management. I love manage great experts to achieve high results. And Sarah, my final question about the future of SEO. You know, many things are coming. We have AI, but it's only the beginning of this revolution. As Bill Gates said, the era of AI has begun, and I think we can't deny this tool, and we need to adapt to this tool. But many things can change our environment. I don't know, probably metaverse, but right now we see Facebook quit this project. Chat GPT, I mean, like Bing have these chats, Bart from Google. So can you predict what kind of future will be in your vision, and how we can adapt to this possible future?
What I have on my mind is not very positive. Okay, like and it's not realistic either. But in terms of SEO, I mean, building on previous data we have when Google pushed the rich snippets, we know for sure that there's going to be a drop in CTR that we on the 10 blue links, right? We know that. This is, I don't think anyone is second guessing that, at least to my knowledge, or anyone is saying no, the 10 blue links will still get the same amount of clicks. It's just how much. So with the current setup of search, we lose around 25% of clicks. So I estimate maybe double of that lost. But then there's the thing is, we as SEOs are gonna move towards being more marketers than being just very SEO specific, because now we're going to talk about videos. Now we're going to talk about other better photos or better images, right? More talking to customers to understand what they really want, and trying to answer that with our content to try to get into that AI answer box, right? So we're gonna move a lot towards being marketers, and a lot of the stuff not a lot, but some of the stuff we are focused on right now may definitely change. And generally speaking, I don't remember the quote or the saying. It's the people that survive are the ones that are able to adapt the most. So we need to adapt. I mean, I was just saying this morning, you must admire the persistence of those link builders that keep reaching out on LinkedIn to sell the whole world is changing, and they don't care, like links and guest posts and DA, I don't know what, and the whole landscape is changing, and people are worried about losing their SEO jobs, and these are like nothing is happening out there. Obviously that's not the right approach to anything, but yeah, I think that we are going to need to focus on different types of content, not just text. Now we need to also consider heavily video.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, I agree. And I think marketers that created marketing campaigns for radio and TV didn't lose their jobs when digital came. They adapted to digital, and right now I think if you have experience in SEO, because SEO doesn't teach you how to rank your website on Google. Of course, SEO can help with that. But SEO teaches how to create high quality content, how to increase website speed that customers needed. And you can use these skills to any different environment, because content will be king everywhere. So you can adapt the skills to anything that future will bring. And of course we have AI, and I think AI is the same. Like when people got first combines, they didn't know, oh, okay, combine can replace them. No, they learned how to drive this combine. And I think in the future we will have more new occupations like controllers, prompt experts, I don't know, or even AI can generate this content. Someone needs to create these prompts, to check out the quality, to become editor. So yeah, we'll see. I think future will be shine if you adapt, if you are not lazy, because
Sorry for
the
this.
era of lazy.
Cat.
Yeah, I have my cat as
It's
well.
alright,
Nice. Sarah, it's a big pleasure to get on the
Thank
show, to learn from you. You always share a lot of valuable insights. Guys, I recommend to follow Sarah on LinkedIn, as I do, because Sarah posts content regularly. You can learn a lot of great insights. Sarah, tell the best way how to keep learning from you, how to reach out to you, how to follow you.
LinkedIn. This is where I live.
LinkedIn.
Yes, I live
Okay.
there.
Okay, nice. I'll submit your LinkedIn account, your website in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Thanks again for your time. Love it. So valuable. Thanks, guys, for listening and watching us.
Thanks, everyone.